Hello and welcome to the next episode of this series, which is all about this Lego room and of course my life. Now, it's been a chaotic start in 2025 and this upload really isn't going to be any different whatsoever because we are going to be working on this far corner. So what we're going to be doing today is going to be getting actually the Batman placed and the Harry Potter bits and pieces placed, which then might allow me to move this temporary table which has been up here all year. It got put up before the start of 2025 and it has just been in the way. So I want to be able to walk up and down the room for the first time. But this year we have actually made some good progress though. So we actually in the last few uploads have managed to get all of the modulars in the Kallax underneath, which I think they look very, very smart. So that is our Marvel maze. So we'll be going back to that. So keep your eyes peeled for the Marvel maze upload because there's going to be some little funky bits and pieces that we're going to be doing with changing some colours on the front to maybe match the wall and then do some other little bits and pieces as well. So that has actually freed up loads and loads of space on here. So this is all going to be a completely different upload because obviously the Disney Castle and stuff needs to go in there. So you can see how it has a huge knock-on effect. But the other stuff that we've done more recently as well is all of this. So we have got a template down for Hoth. So this is the kind of thing that we're now going to be doing around the whole room. Each section is going to have its own different colour. It's going to be all tiled and then we can actually divide it up and make it look like a theme park. This is just going to be a Star Wars walkthrough attraction at the top, the middle and the bottom. Same thing around the side, but underneath the Winter Village display. Umming and ahhing whether to actually tile the Winter Village display or just keep the theming as the base plates because I'm lazy, whereas everything else I think definitely will need to be tiled. So we have got a lot to do with regards to moving bits and pieces, and it's going to be an interesting one with regards to how many base plates the Ninjago is going to take up as well. So it's not just Batman and Harry Potter. We do need to figure out the Ninjago stuff for a future upload as well. Because if I put the shadow box in the wrong bit, well, everything else is then going to have to be redone. And I do not want to do it all over again like I've done the modulars back to back in 2 videos. And that's how the Marvel Maze came about. So with that being said, let's get to it. Right, so fingers crossed we should be good to go for future displays because I have a pile of base plates. Now I don't think we're actually going to get the Batman bit base plated today because I don't have the tiles, they haven't been delivered. I've got the colours, but I can't create the path. So I'd rather just focus on clearing these little bits and pieces and then just coming up with a plan of attack from this side. Now, what is going to happen is we are going to have the Ninjago going back across the back. It was a schoolboy error me taking that off in the first place. But since I took it off, which was only literally last week, there has been rumours that they're going to be releasing another one in March. And I don't have the latest one anyway. So I need to work out how many base plates all of those things are before we can actually get the Batman thing in situ. Because if I put the Batman in the wrong way, say for example, if I could put it against the back of the red wall and it saved a bit of space on this table, I don't want to run out of base plate space for the Ninjago bits and pieces. Now the Ninjago should look really, really nice on this wall. So it's just its own city. It's like a downtown bit. It'll look really, really nice as a theme park perspective. I'm going to add quite a lot of water to the front of that. So again, they're just going to be different tiles that are going to be added. You can see, hopefully, if I spin that one of them round, there we go, you can see how nice the paint's taken to that as a backdrop. But I've got a few of them spun around this way at the moment just to make it a little bit brighter on this one. Now with what I need to figure out, let's count them out. Ninjago City is a base plate, and then the docks is a base plate and a half, the gardens is a base plate and a half, so that is 3. That takes us up to 4, and then the new one is, the one that I'm missing is 5 and 6, and then we don't know if the new one's going to be base plate and a half, or 2. So how much space do you leave for that? And also which way am I going to be coming as well? Because I don't know whether to L it off. We don't know what shape this one's going to be because they might not connect. Because the one advantage I potentially have got is I can potentially use for the first ever time it as a corner. So if the city, it'd have to be backwards though. So we'd have to have all the water facing us. So I don't really think, I don't know if that would work, because I could have one here on this table, just here, and then it kicks around and comes across the back for the Ninjago bits and pieces. But I'm sure that's right. I just don't, because I know the Kallax will take 5, because it's 2.5 on the one cube, 2.5 on the other, with the smidge. So that's 5 what I'm looking at now. The Joker Manor is base plate number 6, and if I was to L it off, where the bank is number 7. Now if that's the case, the Batman can stay as a corner unit, which would be great, because it would save a little bit of space, I think. And then if I can get the bank over or the Joker over, this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky, because everything now seems to be I'm trying to pre-plan for something that I don't know what the size is. Whereas before, when this was just up at the top, I actually only left enough space for the one that's missing, and then butt everything up to that. So I would have had to have changed this corner anyway. So the city is 1. Then there's a base plate and a half for the gardens, base plate and a half for the docks. That's 3, up to 4 with the city. 5 and 6 for the new one, because that is on a double base plate, I do believe, not a single base plate and a half. That is on a double. And then I will have to leave 2 base plates just in case. I would think it would be on a single. I would think, or because the last one was on a double, so they tend to go single, double, and if it's a base plate and a half, sometimes the half is not attached. It's a 16 by 32. So Kallax, like I said, 5. For where the Joker Manor is, that's where the base plate's going to be, I think. So that's where we basically got to start this display from, and then kind of get the bank over, I guess, as far as we can. I don't particularly want it to come over to this side, because if it's coming over to this side, then I've got the problem of, well, this will have to go on this table, which is okay. It can just be tidied up and go on this table, which I'll try and do in a separate upload, so I can actually just walk forward and backwards, because it's just a pain, really. It really is a pain. So I'm only 5 minutes into this, and I'm already stumped with where to start and how to start it. We put this into the corner last time, and we know that, I don't know whether to have the white, keep it white, or put the yellow. This was very kindly donated by Jay's Toy Collection UK. I could just blue tack that back up onto the wall, and we can be good. I could put the base plates down on this one if I knew what base plates to use. I don't know if I've got enough, and the reason why I don't want to put any base plates just there yet, I would rather reorder a pack, is because I want all of them for the Star Wars one, because when the new bit happens, they're all going to go down straight away. So, and then the leftovers will go to that side, and then I can just order the colours that I need. So there is method to the madness. I just don't want to waste, anything. But you need to go somewhere. Where can you go? You might have to go on the Avengers again. So I don't know what you can see. I have absolutely no idea what you can see. Yeah, okay, I think you can see. So we'll guess as we go. So if I'm saying that I'm going to create an L or something, because the 2 base plates, I do believe, is a standalone thing anyway. It doesn't connect to the Ninjago Gardens. So that's why I don't have to take that down. I just know that is there. But I know that this is going to have to come over, but it's just how high this is going to be. And of course, I broke the roof, didn't I? I broke the roof of this in a previous upload. And I can't remember. Bugger. I think the dragon is the same height as the dragon sat on the roof. Well, that's not gone well, because I completely forgot that was broken. So I think I'm going to have to fix that first, which is a real simple fix. Then I can start moving it over, so we know exactly how far it will go over. I'm not gonna lie, as per normal, it's not gone well because I can't find the actual top. So it hit something the other day and I thought I picked up all the pieces, which are all of these. They're all together. They just go around as a shape, but there's another bit that goes on top of it. Now it's either on one of the boxes, it's fallen in behind the modulars, or it's gone on this table. So I'm hoping as we start to move these bits and pieces, it will just be resting on the table, or it's fallen in here, or just something really stupid, because as it stands right now, I can't find it. But then at the same time, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. So I think I know how far I can go over. I can go over a base plate more, I think. And that's basically all I need to do. So as long as I give myself 32 stud space, we'll just have to basically figure it out from there. And then I will have to find that bit, because it was fully complete up until me doing the modular maze. So if you've not caught that upload, that's where it all went wrong. And yes, since then I thought everything was tickety-boo and together. Now I've got one issue with me. This. Now this is very, very heavy. It does look very, very good, but I've now got nowhere to put it or display it, and it is far too heavy, I think, to be wall mounted, which is a little bit of a shame, because I did have a plan of putting it up on the wall, but I think it might just fall off and fall apart. So that might be on the chopping block now. I might keep the figures. It's fully complete. Got the box, got the instructions, and just get it sold. So I'm just going to be a bit ruthless with certain bits and pieces. If I don't need it or have the space for it, then it will be gone. So I need a couple of these, just as a bit of a guide, because this fits on one base plate. So if we know it goes on a base plate, it's Joker Manor that concerns me. I think that's going to be the problem, because this, even without the top, I think that's a little bit pushing my luck with that a little bit. I think with the dragon and everything on top of it, but that's the base plate, so it can come back to there. So that's all right, but I don't think I can get that and the Joker Manor together. I don't think. I think we might have a bit of a problem. So I'm going to relocate you to here, because the Joker Manor is going to move. This is obviously going to move. I think what I'm going to just have to do is do what I didn't want to do, and just move everything over to give myself as much space as possible, and then we can go from there, because we are tidying it up zone by zone as we go. But this has been a bit of a headache, this corner now, for the last few uploads, and I'm a bit peeved that I can't see the top of. I just don't understand where it's gone. It would have just hit the floor down here. It's not on the box lid here. It's not gone in the box, and it's not anywhere here. That's where all the other pieces were. So oh, that's so embarrassing. I was literally about to say it's not still attached to the dragon, and where is it? It's stuck because it's clipped on, isn't it, with the dragon? So that's the bit that I'm missing. So I can finish the roof. So that is fine. So yes, it's a little bit ambitious. Now I'm in a good mood again. So I just need to put those back together, get that in, and it'll clip it all together. Isn't that fantastic? So what I'll do is I'll do that now, put the dragon back on top, so we actually have the correct roof height, and we can finally start this upload. Right, it is on finally. Honestly, I probably should have just kept that recording. That was like a comedy of errors with regards to that, because the square grey bit that was on the floor was actually the first thing that you need to do to build it. And then I was missing the middle pieces. There's 4 bits that had exploded somewhere, so I had to find 4 of those. And then there was something else as well, but it is all there. And the very, very top, that wasn't actually attached to the dragon, was on the inside of Potter. So the dragon's on. Now, obviously, there's a couple of different ways we can do the dragon. At the theme park, it is more like that. It is more looking down over the crowd and sort of over the queue line. Or we can tilt it back on himself and do other little bits and pieces. And of course, you've got all these wings and things that you can sort of play with and do. So yes, we'll have a bit of a play with regards to the roof height on that now, really, because that is what we are going to have to do. Right. So what has just happened, because this is me, is I have just dropped the camera behind the modular maze, and I do believe it is still recording. So I am now having to move the bottom row of modulars just to be able to grab you. But not only, oh dear, not only did that not go right, it also knocked over a pab cup full of small bits. So where are you? That's more important. There you are. So you're looking at the ground, I do believe. Oh, you've taken a minifigure with you as well. Oh no, I don't know if I can reach. Right, you're there. You still working? Yeah, I think so. Right, I've got to try and save that minifigure now. Oh, it's one from Harry Potter anyway. It's obviously fallen down. So we've saved somebody. We've done a rescue. I have no idea. You just fell from a great height, so that's always good fun. Put that back. Honestly, we will start this move, I do promise. So, you just fell from there, which is great, because I don't know what went wrong with that. All I wanted to do was give myself a little bit more space on here, so I could actually do that. That's what I wanted to do. So you're on the edge of the lid, and I think you can pretty much see everything from there, so you can just stay there. Right, let's go. So the 2 options I've got is obviously this Gringotts bank. It's either going to, I might have to go in front of the alleyway, which I don't really want it to do, but at the same time it's not really too much of a problem, because this can be shifted either way. I'm going to keep this as an actual alley this time, because I've always wanted it as an alleyway, and I think it looks fantastic. And you can see, because it's this way, you can see straight down here, which is great. So I'm only moving all of this over at the moment for the Joker Manor, and then we will figure out what we're going to do with these, because we have also got the house. I can't forget about the Weasleys, which is obviously going to go on green base plate, so potentially it could go with, yeah, I'll have to figure it out, because I think this should, it does go on the next table, which I do actually need to sort out, because I've got these gaps. I did say I was going to sort that out in this one, but this has already been chaotic enough. Can't believe I dropped the camera down there. Oh, never ever a dull moment. This didn't break. Could you imagine that? Actually, to be fair, it'd be a lot more peaceful if it did. I wouldn't be talking to myself. Now I've got to think of how am I gonna incorporate that into here, because we've got, it would be this can actually face any way it wants to now, because if this was, when this all gets base plated, this would just go on the base plate, but obviously the base would turn, and that is, why is that wobbling? Why are you wobbling? I don't understand. Oh great, okay. So I put this Kallax unit underneath here, well, maybe a few uploads ago now, which I'm looking at these now from close and it looks so good. It does look so good. You've got to see. I think I'm going to do everything possible not to actually move this thing. So they look great. That back leg on the table, it's not touching the floor. So something's gone wrong. It's either the wood's not happy or something's not happy. Now this table has to go, this one has to go this way to close that gap, like so. So that's almost there. All right, that's the best. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Now this has a big old gap, so this has to be shunted like that. That's shut that gap. That table's definitely twisted. Something's not right with it. What has gone on with that? See, the table's warped, or I've damaged it. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the table's gone. How weird. So the tables are always smooth there or thereabouts. You can see where it's actually started to go here as well, because these tables are quite old now. But this one's doing the same. But now it's got a speed bump. So it's just a little speed bump where this goes into this. But on here, where the shadow box is, it's really high. That's all I'm going to need now. A table just randomly exploded in 2025. We've had enough of tables breaking, but I didn't think that was a thing. There's not enough weight on here. I'm just moving that over. That is so bizarre. So you've got to come back over this way. Right, so that you're pretty much flush there, as close as you're going to get, because this Kallax isn't perfectly straight because it's gone against this, and that thing's not straight, so we're always going to be a little bit wonky. I was going to try and pull this back this way, and then I remembered in the modular upload that I can't because of how the loft ladders come in, so it'll have to stay like that for now. But I think, yeah, we should be safe again. That's very sketchy, that. Right, so we are, God knows how long into this. Joe Kamani, so what I was saying is that this can actually spin on itself with regards to the base and the base plate. So what can happen is we can just utilise the roof height. So if, say for example, we wanted it like that, we could have it angled. And then obviously you come underneath and then you see all of the shadow box. Or, of course, we can have it as it's always been, which is just forward. You gain a couple of studs, but let's not forget what I need to achieve. Cannot have anything past that point. So they're going to be close, Now if we're having this last Ninjago one side on, which I don't know if that's going to work, to be honest. We don't have a choice. Don't think we're going to have a choice because it's 5, 6, 7. The only way we can do it as a straight line is if the Batman doesn't go in this corner. Because we can take the Joker Manor down, but it does look quite nice on the track. But we can drop it down. But this is the first time we've had the Joker Manor raised up. So we could get away with it like this. So we are, what, maybe a stud overhanging, which is fine, but it can obviously be shunted over that way. But the Ninjago, I'm sure, is going to be taller. It's going to be taller than that. So this is going to have to go in at the angle. God, I'm really not happy on this box, is it? Are you? Stay still. There we go. So we're going to have to... Well, it's not the base plate that's going to move, it's the actual base of the thing. Actually, you're staying on... You are staying on water, so... You're probably on the base plate you need to be on, to be honest. But these base plates need to stay forward. You can see why I'm not going to do the Batman in this upload, it's going to take forever. So if I did that, it's going to overhang. Well, we gain a bit more space if we did that. This table's still not happy. There's something wrong with this table. I don't like it. You've got a proper wobble on. And I just put all of the modulars in. What is going on? Is that leg? Right, hang on. You're coming under with me to explore. I can't have this. If I can just undo the leg. Yeah, I've undone the legs miles off. What's that all about? Right, so welcome to a day in the life of me. And I have no idea. These feet are adjustable at the bottom. There's no way. There we go. Oh, that's proper fun. How is that still spinning? Can't be that far off. I'm just pushing the table up, surely. Why is it moved by that much? Yeah, that's all I've done. All I've done, I've just pushed the table up. Sturdy. But why has it done that? Not good enough for the back. I'm going to keep you there and see if it actually drops. So if I ever, when I watch this back and edit it, I can see. Look at that. It's actually doing it though. Right, we're now not touching, so something's not right. Oh, so it's dropped down, but okay. Oh dear. Can't be that hard. It's got no weight on it. I'll level at this front but not at the back, so it might be this table. We'll get there. We will get there. So the next problem we've got with this is if I wanted it angled slightly, which looks nice. It just looks like it's it looks like its own big banner when it's up nice and high. Is eating into that, so we can't have that. We can't really have it like that, to be honest. It can't be there. We could gain quite a bit if I took the flag off, which I might have to do. I took that pink flag off, put that pink flag here, stood you there. So that's a base plate, and just push this back. That's as far back, we now hit the ceiling. So that's as far back as that can go. At the angle, that's its own complete land, and it's just cut off, and the path will just change from basically one to another. So you would have potentially a path at the front, and then you've got your next base plate. Not exactly the other way around, but you'd have your next base plate underneath Batman, which would be going off from here. It kind of gives the illusion that you're on the ride, you twirl down, and then you go into the cave, which is what I quite like. But because that is steps and staggered, the dragon can't go any further either. So is it too busy? Oh no. Do they need... I'm going to have to put this the other side of the alleyway and just see, because if it just makes it breathe a little bit more, I think it might be quite nice like that. But we're not. Yeah, if I can bring the alleyway all the way over. Oh, it's going to be so annoying because I know what's going to happen. The alley's going to overlap the Joker Manor. No, it should be alright. Yeah, it should be okay. Right, this is going to get very awkward very quickly. If you ever hear that noise, that is me tripping over the loft ladder bit. No, just do my very best not to. And we're going to have to basically play a game of slide and glide that forward. That one goes there. That one goes there. Now the alleyway, as the alleyway coming off that, has literally just created its own land, and because we've got here, we could actually create the path going into the next bit. So I could bring this all the way forward, and we don't have any white, because that way it could actually sit right to the edge of the table, to the inside of the shadow box. So we gain basically more of this table. Of course, this can actually be pushed back, so the foot isn't directly in situ of that. And I can figure out what we're going to do at the back just there, because it's not eaten in, it's just in line. So if we can go back basically to the edge of the table. I think that would be ideal, which is what I will try and do right now. Yeah, because this, oh dear, just broke the track now. Useless. I'm a useless human being. All right, that. That can. Yeah, it can, it will fit. Well, that's a bonus. So it is completely in line with the shadow box. Shadow box is straight, I do believe. It's just wonky because it's broken. think. Or does that need to be pushed back? That needs to be pushed back. Right, okay. Okay. And then across the bottom you can see how big big the span is. So this potentially would go on 2 blue base plates. That's where the ride just happens to finish, and then you can just walk in and do whatever you want to do. Clutching at straws on that one, but you can give it a whirl with that, and then it's just going to be the cars that are dotted around there. I think, because we've got just the cars that are going to be parked here. It's going to be a little bit, it's going to be one of those where you've got to crouch down and look through, but if I just had it as the cars only, and the advantage of it not being on the base plates is that they're really easy to move, we could potentially get them all in. What that is doing on top of that, I don't know, but so that one could be parked close to there. The Batman could go there. Tumbler, it's not going to fit like that. Tumbler goes back that way. And then you've got the Batman and the 66, so they would all fit on them within themselves. That actually doesn't look too bad. Dark, that's the only problem. It is dark because it casts a lot of shadow, but I can add all the minifigures on here and still see everything. And then we have got still got 2.5 for that. It's just if that is the best thing to do. Because the cars aren't outside the actual line of the shadow box, and you've got the other Batman thing with it. Of course, the other thing it can do, it goes in the other corner and we do the same thing. And then we can potentially have the Ninjago as a long straight line. Potentially. Because yeah, we can stagger the alley as well. Don't think that's the best thing to do, but I don't know if it would save more space, because we could step it like that, or we can bring it all the way up so it's just the alley. And to be fair, what you would do is you'd come in, walk all the way down the alley, and then it'd be tiled at the back to come through. And I have got something. Where is it? It's got the green twirly whirly on the inside of it. There. So this little thing can be hidden just there. I think that'll go. Thank you very much indeed. So just got an extra sign at the back, and then we go out, go right, and then we come to this. I just don't know what that looks like now from a distance. That I do like, actually. This into this works. I think that looks very, very smart. You just can't go any further that way because of the bit hitting the ceiling. And I don't particularly want to take the black bit off. Otherwise it could go over a few more studs. I'm going to need a backup plan, I think. And the backup plan is, if we want Ninjago all in a straight line, do we put a garden in front of Ninjago? because don't forget I've still got that house, which, well, it's not ideal. So I actually save space with this being on the stand, as stupid as it sounds. So I am saving space with this. It's because of the slope in the ceiling. This is the problem. Now again, I guess, I just need to leave you be, but I'm scared that up there you can't actually see me move the bits. I'm sure you can, I'm sure you can. So if this came all the way back there, it's not bad. It's not bad because I can see that, no problem. The only problem is I think whatever's behind it, you're not really going to see it. But the path is going to come out from there because obviously this can't go. You can go there. So it's not really going to make any difference whatsoever. It was all the way to the edge. We know it's, depending on the angle of the feet, it's a base plate a bit. But if you have it like I've got it for the Batman, it's actually a lot longer. It's like a base plate and a half. Whereas this is just over a base plate because of the you've made a nice X. So rather than having it as a straight line. Now, if this table wasn't in the way, I can see around the other side. But I don't know what I will be able to squeeze in. So I've got a funny feeling. I don't know if we use the alleyway as a continuation for the park, because it's a theme park. So if I'm planning this as a actual theme park, you're coming down at the end, over it goes. So everything is going to have to be on base plates, including these. So these can just be whatever colour base plates they want. So I could just put 2 white ones down, so I've got loads of spare white. So 2 white base plates underneath here. Gets to the far end, and that's where it's going to be a little bit tricky, because I'm going to need, I don't know how many I'm going to need. 16 by 32 maybe. Cut that down ever so slightly. That's where it starts. The path will start in whatever colour we want it. And then do we carry on with greenery at the back? And because this is extremely different, but extremely eye-catching with these 2 high up. So these being here aren't a problem. It's going to be a problem if I want it all as a long line, not as an L for Ninjago. And so I'd have the dock there, I think. I think that's what I would do, because it's the lowest one. I'm going to grab it. It's annoying me now. Because the dock is a base plate and a half. And that's not, is that then going to work or not? Have I done this wrong? 5, 6, 7. Panicking now. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that one, oh god, that one's only 1, isn't it? Have I really done that wrong? Did I need to go 7? That's not fun. No, I've definitely, I thought I've done something wrong, as normal. The easiest thing to correct that is that goes where the Joker Manor is. The Joker Manor goes where that is, and the shadow box goes in the corner. Then we've still got the same space. Right, that would be the backup plan. So I have a backup plan for that, where I swap the different bits and pieces. I'm still going to put this down, because when I am happy and it's all worked out, then I'll put the base. I'll have to get the base plates to go underneath it, like I said, so it might just be picked up to put back down again. So that will just be adding base plates too, and then that way we can actually make the diorama, so we can have a diorama / base plate play. Where are you? You're there. I'm going over here to grab a few different things. You can probably only see the tyre, so I better move that. We want that. We want that. Stepping back now, it's definitely separate areas, which is exactly what I wanted. All the areas have been split up anyway. I just don't know if I can just create greenery going into the parky area, because the botanical gardens is obviously it's got its calf, it's got all that bit and all that thing, so it could just be green. It's just an area where you can eat, drink and do whatever, or we can kind of get away with it being a poison ivy thing as well, so we can have poison ivy just stood around in there, and then we can see. And of course, if the rumour's true for Arkham Asylum, well, that's just going to be a complete game changer then, isn't it? So this itself isn't a monster. So I could put it on, be on a base plate, the plate comes round, and then I think we've got close to another, I think we're close to another base plate of space, I think, here. So we're not far off. We're not far off, because that is going to be, yeah, it would actually, when it connects, you know, all the stud in a bit, we're not too bad. So the question is, that one obviously goes blue there, because the other, it just makes sense because it's water, the water comes down. Where the camera is going to be, I've got 4 base plates of space here for something, and then we've got the house to go in there, but it's not going to take up a huge amount of space, I don't think. I'm just repairing what I've just decided to break, which is not fantastic. The flowers came off the step. Right, so we've got that, and that. Now again, with it being on a base plate, the advantage I've got now is I can twist it. So I think what you're going to do is you are going to be just like that, I think, because that looks visually pretty cool on the angle. Now we've got a choice of having the pigs at the front, which is exactly what we're going to do. The pigs go in there. So it opens up on the side waft. So that goes there. And then what I will do is I will create 2 paths around that. And that's that. That's done. So you come, yeah, okay. So you'll go straight down the alleyway, kick it out, and it forks around that, and then it comes into here. So we now have four plates of green, which is what that is going to be. But I am going to have to I've got to remember to base plate everything, and then the stuff that's on a base plate will go. So I don't think it won't work. I don't know what green base plates I've got left. So I could do that now, but I don't think I can. So I think I'm going to have to do a base plate and tiling session at the same time. So we'll just get this placed. Yeah, I think I'm going to get too carried away because I really want to base plate it. I'm looking at those base plates going, oh, I could use them. But I think the green's already used. Amazingly, I think it's all because there's 9 there. We did have some others though. We did have some others. Oh, they're down there, aren't they? Ooh, how many have we got? How many do we have? Right, let's have a look. So, I've definitely broken something on this camera. It's a bit more floppy. We have what, 1, 2, about 4. We need 4. That is perfect. And then we've got blues, more row plates. So put these here the other day. So they're going to get used for something else. That is not one. These white can go underneath the alleyway. To be fair, the old row plates could go underneath the alleyway. That is an airport. Airport, green. Well. What do I do? It's going to be 5 green underneath, I think. That is going down, so there's 2. That's taken up that part of the table, so it's just, I'm just tempted to put a load of trees and other bits and pieces in front of it, which would then mean I just need to find a home for Rivendell. And if I can do that, I'll be very, very happy. But this is looking like a theme park now for the first time in this corner. I'm gonna have to use the grey for Batman. I can't use black. But I can't tile anything. And the problem is, my issue is if I put all the base plates down now and need to quickly move something, I've then got to take all the base plates back up with the bits, whereas if I start to tile from one end to the other, we should be okay. Yeah. Alright. Let's get the actual units in, see how many we can get in, and then if we can get all of them that we need, we have the base plates that I can literally in a separate upload just crack on. But I do not have the tiles here at the moment, but when they arrive they'll probably be here by the time I've got some time to do this anyway, so it will be interesting. But the blues are going to come in handy, which is great. because those greens and blues were from the Harry Potter in the first place. So yeah, plenty of white, green, plenty of blue, but they're the tiles that can be used for this project. Sorry, these are the, you know what I mean, base plates that can be used for this project. So what can we get out of this? So let's clear. I've got a lot of base plates here. I needed 27 of each colour and 12 black for a different project, and they will soon get used. No, you will stay. What are you falling off? Rivendell. You got a rogue part from Rivendell. It's got to be. It is from Rivendell, but maybe it's from the other. Oh, it's from the other tree. Right. Okay. No, that's fine. From the other tree, I can live with that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to base painting these already. I can see this working quite well now. Feel a little bit more encouraged that I can actually get this monster in, because I made a very bit of a schoolboy error that this is only, I thought this was like a base plate and a half, and it's 2 base plates, but this now, I think for where it is, can serve a double purpose, because we can put an Easter egg in for poison ivy. So that will work, and at the same time it's a nice peaceful area to relax as a walk-through attraction, and it's a garden, and they do have a lot of greenery now at the theme parks for you to be able to have a picnic and things. And obviously in the back here you've got all the tables and chairs and a cafe and stuff, so that will work. And we can make it as part of an adventure anyway, because we want to try and get in these trees. Again, that's fighting. I'll go with that. So we'll get these bits in. That one. We've got this one. Oh, we had this one. See, that's how horrible I am to everything. Do not fall off. So that is that one. He says there is. I dropped this, just to let everybody know, I dropped this down the loft ladders the other day. I had to repair it all before I could do any of the Star Wars stuff. Devastated. That's obviously part of the A-frame cabin. So, thinking about it, that could stay with the A-frame cabin. It could stay with the A-frame cabin, rather than making up like a forestry tree area. It could go back with the A-frame cabin, which is going to go with the tree house, which is going to go with the fishing store. Because that was going to be my other greenery watery area. Maybe we hold fire on that. Those actually now might be very, very handy. Well, they will be very, very handy for the A-frame cabin. So on this table, apart from the stuff what came off this, it was just Rivendell. The treehouse has been waiting to be rehomed for ages. Don't really want, like, if I could turn that, I just don't think it's not gonna work, I don't think. So I could turn it and put something else with it, but it's so big, so no, that's not gonna work. So that's all the way to the edge of the table. With the paths and stuff, that's 6 studs. So that's the path. It's actually got the perfect curves for what I want to be doing. It's just Snow White's cottage then. That is. This is. Oh, it's got a bit of awkward space. So I could either push all of this back this way and we get more space. Not that we need it, because what I'm going to end up doing is just pulling that away from the wall. Obviously the backup of the backup of the backup option is the shadow box just goes flat against the wall, but then you're not actually going to see much of it. But no, I like how that is at the moment with that there, that up there, that bit there. So we've got Winnie the Pooh. Maybe the Winnie the Pooh house goes straight in front of us. Just because a bit of green. Do we have like a character meet and greet down here? That doesn't. We could go for the one path around, but I don't really think that works with that. And even if I try and tuck it that way, oh, that could. No, we could. We could have a nice little. We could have a nice little walkway in front of that if that was angled. It might just have to be a little bit thinner. And of course this could be angled a little bit nicer and better as well when the base plates go down. So yeah, there's opportunity for that one. We've got wasted space here, which I never ever like. But I don't particularly want anything in front of this. So if we just have the giveaway purchase next. So that GWP is that. Before you know it, that's eaten into a little bit of the space at the front. So we've got 3 similar shapes dotted around. Like I said, I pull that one out a little bit. We could just have smaller bits and pieces. There's no way that Snow White's going to fit in. No way that's going in there. Because the Snow White accessory stuff would fit in there. But the Snow White itself is not going to go. I just hope I haven't wasted too much space. So it needs to breathe, but at the same time you can't have. I think with the path going all the way around it, with its 6 studs a bit, if you're having it all the way around, 12 studs around something, visually will break it up and you'll see it. So when the path goes in, I don't think it would look as crazy, but the Snow White cottage won't fit here. And I can't bring that to the front because you're not going to see much behind it. And it is quite, I can visualise the path going around that. This is 2 base plates at the front. So we have, I guess, we've got the potential, if we really wanted to have this like this. If we wanted to. But you can see how much it overhangs because what it's doing is hitting that. So if that came that way and it went to there, obviously then it would hit the foot. So we've got the opportunity for that. And then behind it we can then just have the cottage and the Winnie the Pooh facing forward, because don't forget on the back of this, we can carry on creating a path. So you can get in and out 2 ways, I think. So would that just face forward? Yes. Can we create a path around? Yes. Even more so if the giveaway wasn't there. So we're gonna have to keep the giveaway as is, potentially. Or the giveaway could go, because if that came further forward, we can definitely get, let's try it. We can definitely get the Snow White in if this was facing forward. And then we've only got the 5 sets on the table. Yeah, I think that might work, I think. Right, I have nowhere to put you, so you are just going to have a nice look at that. You're now on the roof. And the cottage is on its way. I will think about the design of this. Because I don't want to hide the front. These rooftops are okay. These sets are not too. Oh, you've gone. You just crushed the. You just smashed the tree. You just smashed the tree. Great. Great. So the cottage, it can go there. You can see it's there. It have a path around it. I just don't know if it needs to be the other way around. So we've hit a bit of a speed bump on this one, because this is a bit of a weird. So you've got a path that's too tight, so that would have to be pulled over that way. That's why I didn't want to, until I can tile it, that's why I didn't want to put the base plates down. But that's the max that can go on that table. If not, the Winnie the Pooh might have to come out to let the other one breathe a little bit. So that just went into the middle, or vice versa, I'm not too sure. So apart from the end, I think we've made some good progress in this upload. So I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. I can't do much about the Ninjago stuff until obviously everything's in, and we don't know how big the new one's going to be. So we'll cross that bridge when it comes. Now I actually have enough sets off this that I can actually then take this table off and actually tidy the bits and pieces, which would be fantastic, which means I can then walk forward and backwards, and then I can actually use the floor space as a actual walkway. And yeah, and then just keep your eyes peeled for what we're going to be doing with this when the tiles and things arrive, because we'll have some blues and things to play with. Because we could potentially angle, it doesn't have to be straight, it could be angled. We could do some different bits and pieces with it. Oh yeah, this needs to be reconfigured, I know that, but I'm happy with how that is with all of this going up into that bit there. So right, so clearly that doesn't work. I was about to end the video and I actually even did the outro, and I was like, actually, why don't we use the Dungeons and Dragons castle? Because that table over here is going to be something else, so that could actually just go in a park area again like we had. The Jurassic Park gates is going to go over to the other side. So yeah, 2 options. Either this side is this, it's just that, and it is that kind of thing. But I think maybe with just how sort of grimy and this kind of thing is, the D&D can go on that side. And then maybe I could put something smaller in front of it, like a smaller ride, if I can't figure out what else can go there, because it is technically its own ride at the start of its comic. But we could put a ride in front of it or just use it. So I am just going to grab that and move those. I think that's probably the best thing for me to do. You're going to go there so you can see me make an absolute meal of this. See, something as easy as that. Go to rush. So, what did that fall off? I'm assuming it's this. Yeah. Oh, bugger. He'll sort that out in a separate upload, he says. You can see why everything is broken. That's your fault though, you fell on it. Right, that is... We're alright. So that's okay. The Winnie the Pooh. Can we just go back over there? So, can I reach? But no, I've got a bad feeling I'm kicking something underneath there. Do not want to be doing that at all. Oh, that is there. That is there. That goes there. Right, this comes back over. Yeah, it's going to have a more of a calmer section somewhere, I think. I don't know whether we're going to have to sort of put the Snow White with the Disney Castle. That could be stepped. That could be stepped in front of it, maybe. Got to be. It's got to be that, isn't it? Surely. More damage it took. Now we do have the Harry Potter car, so that can be added there as an Easter egg as well. So that could potentially work. I'm just, every time I grab something from this side, I'm obviously over the loft hatch, aren't I? Which is not ideal. Oh, it's about the same height as the house as well, so that could work quite nicely because it'll give us space actually to do a D&D theming. And then we've got to think of actually what colour base plate we use for this now, because this now might need to be a slightly different coloured base plate to the other. And I'm getting extremely close to you, all the way over there. Of course we are. Past the Avengers Tower, behind the Disney Castle, is the third missing piece to what I need for this, which is not ideal. I don't know if I can actually physically grab this. That's a deep squat, that is. Alright. So that's been on the table by itself, by itself, nothing around it, and somehow the whole front of this has just fallen apart. And there's a panel missing. So I think that could work. That could work in that corner, because it would obviously face... Where's the stairs? Where's the front of it? That's the front, and it goes in on itself as a building, doesn't it? So that side and the front. I can't quite remember how it goes, but it'd be obviously spun round and face forward. I need two hands, and I need to change the memory card actually. No surprise. So I change the memory card over, get this in place, figure out what we can put in front of it, and then we will wrap the video up, because I have got a lot of editing to do. Right, so I've kind of started to figure it out. I did just cheat and have a look at the photo, but it's quite obvious with the pins. So they go in front like so. He says it's obvious with the pins. Will it go in? Come on. They're just a guide pin. Come on. There we go. And then this one will then just slots in just behind. So that's it. So that is the jobby all put together. Now it's obviously blue, so we could have a mix of water and grass. That fits with scale and everything else. I think that actually works quite well with these bits and pieces. Now, what is going to go in front of that now, I'm not too sure. I still don't know. I don't know whether to just have a load of the minifigures in front of it, make a bit of a diorama. It doesn't need to be that big though, That is the only thing. This one does need a bit of TLC because this obviously was, well, it had flags and all sorts of bits and pieces on it, and obviously these bits have fallen off because, well, it hasn't really had a home, to be honest with you. This again could go side on. It could be one of those that could go side on. We could do something with the water in front of it. I'm just looking at other sets that it could potentially go with. I think if we're going to go for sort of wizards and witches, I think that might be the better way to go. Like I said, the Lord of the Rings thing could have gone there as a long straight line, but does Lord of the Rings go with Harry Potter better than Dungeons and Dragons? Not really too sure. Don't want to make anything up custom because I know that's going to take up a base plate in a bit, so ideally it would be quite nice to have something in there. Now I don't really think it's going to look alright side on. This does look a lot better. Obviously we've got these amazing minifigures, haven't we? So I don't think it's going to work that way. It doesn't look bad. Actually, it doesn't look bad at all. Okay, I have to take that back completely. So it does work that way. And again, actually, thinking about it, because it's on base plates now, if we wanted to just angle it, we could have it spun round and angled completely differently. But if we started to do that, because we've actually got the door directly in front of us there, if we started to do that, we then lose again quite a bit of space. But I do quite like it. I do quite like the angle of that though. Because if this was brought forward, it's because it's quite tall, so it's brought forward. I don't think you'd see anything behind it. But at the same time, it's another one of those. I don't really want to cover it with anything. If it was, I don't know. We've got the dragon. So we've got the big red dragon that will sit. Oh, that's a point. It might have to go angled because the dragon might not fit if it's completely flush to the back. But I think that looks, I think visually that's a lot more pleasing, I think, than that way. But then at the same time, it's not bad that way. But this is a set that you can actually see a little bit more of it is angled, to be honest. But like we said, we don't lose studdage if we have it like that. But because that's angled, that one's angled, I don't know. I am looking and I am looking to see what else we can do. Now it's very much a case of we could have it, no, not further forward, it would have to be kept back, potentially. And we can put, well, it's not that way, it's not actually too much, it's only a little bit, but even still, obviously with space being so tight with things, but you can get a nice path around that. I think the dragon's tail might actually sit there, or I might actually be able to make something to go behind where the dragon actually sits up, because I've never been able to have the dragon perfect. Now see, this has got all of the spare bits and pieces in, so that's actually can go straight back there. I've got all of the other minifigures. I've got the CMF minifigures that we can use around this as well, because all the CMFs for Harry Potter are in the Harry Potter section. So we've got the tree and everything, so we know we've got 2 base plates. That's definitely a base plate of space. So yeah, That was just angled around so we got the full base plate on, which is there, and then it came to there, which you can see a single thing, you're facing the wrong way. So now this base plate is completely on. That is what that would be at the angle. So something smaller went in front for the two big, because I think there's two base plates here. So I don't know what we've got. I don't know what we've got. No, we've got the water. There's a waterfall here from Monkey Gear. So we could have the waterfall behind this, and this gets brought forward, and we just use the height for the waterfall. That wouldn't be a problem, because I just don't want this to swallow this, and I don't want anything to swallow that. But it kind of works. And if we had, obviously this is on its own water, but maybe we had like a completely different colour for this, because obviously got the really nice purple roof. That'll go green into something. That'll be, I would imagine, have to be blue. That would make sense if it was blue, to be honest. But no, that does look quite, well, it does look effective like that. And we've got quite a lot on this table already. We've got the whole of the alleyway as well. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 base plates covered. So we've just got the two more to go. Now, if I have got the smaller fairground stuff, that could potentially go in front of it, and it could be a character meet and greet for Harry Potter and Dungeons and Dragons, because all of those smaller bits will have to go somewhere. So that would free up, I say it would free up, it could potentially have 2 base plates of whatever, because we've got a little space ride over there. There's smaller rides over there, like the monkey swing, for example, because if it was just in front of it, I know it's completely the wrong theming as such, but there's a possibility for that. A boat, if it's going to be water, we could just have all of that blue, green, all of it blue, and put a boat in front of it. Treehouse is too big, which is a shame, because that treehouse, yeah, I think that's a shame, because that could have been quite nice. We could have the old fishing store there. Again, a full-size modular in front of it might not work. I need to use that space up, basically, because that definitely isn't going to work. I say that, but it might. So you've got the small, the Flintstones house. That's a small little thing, that could work. No, that's just too big, it just swallows it. You just need something slightly smaller. It might work behind it, but then again, you kind of want to see, oh dear, you want to see all of that. So potentially it's going to be a waterfall which is this thing just here. That's, so if that was high, I think we could get that behind there. We could sit that in to about there, so you could just see the water coming down. I think I'd be able to put that up on wood. I think I can shoot with that. So I think we'll be able to get this forward. And then in that gap, which is empty space, I think it might fit. But then are we gonna lose too much space in front. So that's moved 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 5 studs onto the next base plate. Got the dragon, don't forget, as well. So it would be like that. I don't know if that works or not. So that is where we're going to end the video. So I want you guys and girls in the comment section now to let me know what I should do with the front of this D&D. Because I think no matter what the angle is, that is the best angle. And it is going to go blue base plates. We'll do everything blue, that won't be green. And it's just a complete divide from Batman, Harry Potter into a different thing, which is obviously mysterious. It either needs a ride there or it needs a boat, is what I think. But I'm sure you guys and girls can let me know what you can imagine. The Flintstones definitely isn't going to work. A cabin won't work. I haven't actually got a boat that would fit in that scale, to be honest, so I don't need to think about where it's going to be pulled from, because it's not going to get pulled from anywhere. We've got to play with is the A-frame cabin, the treehouse, and the old fishing store. All of that I think is too big to go. I think it's too big to go in front. The A-frame cabin isn't going to work with the bank, obviously. The fishing store is a really unusual thing. It could kind of work because of the actual architecture of the building, but I have to think on that. But the only thing is on a tan base plate, so obviously it's land. It's a good problem to have because I've actually got space. It's just thinking what is going to go in there, because I've got quite a lot of space over here. Looking at this table now, there is quite a lot of space we've got going on, because you've got all of this section here. This half doesn't even exist because obviously that's all the Ninjago stuff, so that's gone. That's coming over onto potentially this table, I think. This obviously is going, so that doesn't exist at all. The dragon is over there. So yeah, I think we're doing all right. So I think we've done okay for this one. I'm glad that I actually put that in. I think that looks a lot better. That looks so much better than the other bits and pieces, because again, I've got to leave 6 studs for tiling. So this little bit here will be magic. Kind of feel like it needs something behind it for maybe a little bit of height. So see the dragon. I don't know if the waterfall would work. Maybe not. And it's just thinking, well, I've got to check out all of the all of those minifigures, because if the minifigures, I'm going to have to put the water. If I put the base plate down of water and tiled it, I could put the minifigures on the tiles that I've done. That's the only way I can get away. That's the only way I can get away with that. So I think it's going to be a problem for when we actually put the base plates and the tiles down. So for the second time this evening, I'm going to say the exact same thing. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. In the comment section below, get your ideas in for any sort of little minifigures that you think I'm missing, or any sort of sets that might complement the stuff that I'm already doing. Or of course, if there's a set that's not yet been used and it can go into this display, then let me know. And I'm pretty sure this video will go live before I put the base plates down for this one anyway. So if you can think of what might potentially work in front here, then obviously let me know, because that would be amazing. And I also take everybody's comments on board as well. So if you have got any ideas, then just let me know. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care and I'll take us to the next one.